Oh, Joel, man. He could have had, like, you know, put him a bit high, you know what I'm saying? All right. If you guys want any more pizzas here, first of all, let me know. I'll order a few more pies, and, you know, we'll be cutting that cake, but I know it's a little small, so maybe some of you will be able to smell it and not have much. I apologize for the size. But this is great. I'm glad everyone made it here tonight. You know, this is really cool. I hope we can keep this going with everyone that's worked here for all these years. So, obviously, we're all here for Joel, but I'd also like to take a minute for Steve Cunningham. You know, we lost him a couple months ago. He was a wonderful guy. He was a great co-worker, and his family, you know, are in our thoughts. He was just a really great guy that, you know, went too quick and too early. So, you know, a shout out to Steve and his family.
Here.
But
Here.
Here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Honestly, Joel is the most laid-back guy I think I've ever known. Actually, that's ever worked at Merrimack. Because when I first started working at the beer company, I had to work with Uncle Al. All he did was yell at me. You know, and he's like, "Open the door, kid!" My second day on the job was with Buddy Walsh, and he told me to throw the case to him, but I threw it like, you know, Roger Clemens, and I just rifled at him and he threw it back at me. I'm like, this is a big mistake. I think my third day was with Steve Burrell and Roland Hamill. Oh boy, I don't have to tell anybody about them. So Joel, I was scheduled with him like the fourth or fifth day, and other guys wouldn't let you on the truck. They wouldn't let you touch the radio. They wouldn't let you even breathe, crying out loud. But Joel, he would tell us, the beer comes up the same way, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what you do. You gotta kick the ball to see how it's gonna go, you know?
I used to get this every day from
There are plenty of laid back guys that work at Merrimack Valley. I know one of our co-workers just left, Tom Ingram. Everyone knows who Tom Ingram is. You know, I mean, is that guy awake when he comes to work? I mean, he looks like he's half asleep. We go to Hooters all the time, and there's this Haitian guy that sees us. He goes, "What is the guy? He looks like he's sleeping all the time, man. He got his eyes closed all the time. He doesn't even look like he's on sleep medication." Tom's just like, "Hey." Where should I put this beer? Yeah. But you could tell that guy that he's fired, and he'd be like, "Oh, bummer. Guess I'll have to go to the Wanted." You could tell him he won $1 million, and go like, "Cool. That'll help pay some bills." I really wish he had stuck around. I wanted to see that.
Don't worry, his father will learn here.
Well, you can relay the message for us.
I don't talk to him.
Spoken like a true father. I'm glad a lot of people showed up tonight, Greg. I'm glad you made an appearance tonight. We're all glad to see you here. I didn't want to have Ben call you and go, "Where are you?" If anybody works at Merrimack, how many times have we heard that? And even though we got GPS, he still calls our phone and asks us that question. Every time. Hold on a minute, folks. Ed Harris. We had a slight disruption of Ed Harris walking into the room. Thank you. Don't get started with it. But no, Greg, every time he used to call our phone and ask us where we were, I used to feel like Jimmy Gutowski. I was like, "Oh, wherever you sent me, boss. Oh, get back in now. You know, I want a hug, big fella." The other question he used to ask us was, "What happened?" And there were different levels of what happened. You used to get called in the office. Well, first he'd see you in the bay door, and he'd have his hands on his hips. And he'd say, "In my office. Shut the door. Have a seat. What happened?" And that was always a calm way. If you did something really bad, it was his arms were flailing from the office window. You didn't even get to shut the door or have a seat. It was, "What happened?" And it was usually because I brought a stop bag because I broke too many cases when I first started driving. I thought it was a car, so I used to take sharp corners and cases would fall over. Well, that was a mistake. He would yell at me, "They needed that beer!" I'm like, "I'm sorry, what should I have done?" "You should have called." Okay, I'll remember that next time. I didn't. It happened again. So I didn't get the, "Shut the door, have a seat." I got the, "What happened?" I'm like, oh, damn, I forgot to call. I go, "Did they need that beer?" "Yeah!" I should have learned from Joel though, because every time he had a mistake on the truck, he would say, "I'm gonna get my ass beat if I don't fall right now." And I'm like 19 years old, I'm sleeping, I'm like, what? But Joel, you've had many stories. Honestly, I mean, I can't remember. Oh, sorry, I don't remember all the stories, but there were plenty. Everyone remember Stanley Peichel?
Oh my God.
He was like John Mills with long hair. Joel could work with anybody but him. He'd go into Greg's office, "You put me in a pickle, put me with this guy Pickle." So he'd book off anytime that he was with Stanley, right? So when he'd go in and put his, float day or vacation day on his time card, he'd go into Greg and go, "Did you put me down for a pickle day?" Or when Sharon used to be on nights, she would put the sick day or float day or whatever, and she saw that he took a day off in the middle of the week, and she said, "What do you want me to put, Joel?" And he goes, "I'm sorry." Oh boy. But no, Joel, laid back. You couldn't tell if he was angry or happy. You know what I mean? He was always laughing and just kind of strolling around the warehouse. One time though, he had his empties truck backed in, and instead of the night crew pulling it out and putting another truck in, they kind of load up here on your truck.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't have a truck for him. So Dave Cameron's like, "It snowed out last night, guys, so here's a new snow brush. Brush off your trucks, get them all clean." So Joel's walking through the warehouse. He's like, "I got a snow brush, but I got no truck."
I do remember that. The sad part about this is all true.
We used to go in on Saturdays to do some work for the racks. We used to have to put the beer in certain areas in the warehouse and everything. And Ed Grimes, he had the whole operation working. He knew where to put the beer. So he had the whole design. He told Greg. Greg was so impressed, he kind of gave him like a half hug, put his arm around Ed. And I'm like, wow, you never get that kind of treatment? Joel goes, "I've been here 35 years, I'm never gonna have it, hug." But Joel, don't worry, we'll get donuts later. Yeah, he's looking at get my donut, yeah. But back in the day when Joel was driving on the road, there were certain guys that, worked with, because Greg knew that he was just so laid back that they were easy to work with. So I don't remember his name, but I think he ripped off an account for like some money in their safe. Yeah, the guy was like,
The Tilt Force guy,
yeah, he just kind of went in and helped himself to someone's safe.
Yeah.
Joel happened to be with him. So when the accountant found out they were short-handed in their money in their safe, they called the police. The police came back and said, "All right, you got to get all the deliveries that were here. We have a warrant to check all the trucks." So Joel gets a call from, I think it was Gino.
Yeah.
And Gino goes, "You got to go back to Westland Package." And Joel's saying, "I know I gave him credit on those Keystones." Come to find out they wanted $7,000. Can't help me out, pal.
You call your beer, no money.
But during the day, during the deliveries, people were great. They were easy going.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been here like that. This is the way to end a career on it, like that. This has been really great. And I'm not gonna miss the job, but I'm gonna miss all you guys. you know, and I'm gonna remember this night for a long, long time. Thank you.
All right, guys. If you want more, does anybody want more pizza?